Hey there, fellow educators, and honestly, anyone who's ever wondered what would happen if we actually listened to teachers for once. I'm Leah Cleary, and this is If Teachers Ruled the World. You know, after 25 years in the classroom, I've learned that teaching isn't really about having all the answers. It's about being brave enough to ask the right questions, and maybe, just maybe, admitting when we have no idea what we're doing, which, let's be honest, happens more often than we'd like to admit. So grab your coffee or whatever, and let's talk about the real stuff, the messy, imperfect, sometimes beautiful reality of what it's like to shape young minds while trying to keep our own sanity intact. Because if we're going to change the world, we might as well be honest about what that actually looks like. All right, let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome back to If Teachers Ruled the World. I'm Leah Cleary, and today we're talking about something that's been on my mind this week. Actually, it's something that's been weighing on me. And I think it's something a lot of you can relate to. So today was Monday. It's January, first day back with the students after winter break. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was not having a good morning. Something came up this weekend with my extended family. Don't worry, Mom, we're all okay. But it's one of those situations that just takes up a lot of mental space, you know. It's not an emergency, but it's there. It's weighing on you. And if I could, I'd love to just sit down for a minute, take a deep breath, maybe make a phone call to check in. But that, my friends, is not how teaching works. So this morning, before my first period class came in, I'm standing there at my door, and I'm tired. I'm feeling defeated. I've got this thing on my mind, and I just wanted a minute. And then the bell rang. And I felt myself do something I've done thousands of times over 25 years. I pulled my shoulders back, I smiled, and suddenly, hey, how's it going? How was your break? Oh, so good to see you. I missed you. High energy, fully present, fully on. The switch flipped automatically. I didn't think about it. It just happened. And that got me thinking, what does it cost us to do that? To flip that switch and be fully on for 8 straight hours when we're also just humans dealing with life. That's what we're talking about today. Okay, so to consider this, I want to back up just a little bit for a second. We went back to school on Friday, January 2nd. So that's right, that's the day after New Year's Day. And can I just say it was annoying, like really annoying. Because that one Friday completely cut our break short. If you were out of town, you had to come back early. You couldn't even have the weekend. It just felt cruel. So I was dreading going back on Friday. I really, really was. But something unexpected happened. See, students were not there on Friday. It was actually a teacher work day. We actually got one. We had a faculty meeting in the morning, and thankfully, mercifully, they did not make us do professional learning. They actually gave us that work day, which was so lovely. Now, I did spend most of the afternoon in an IEP meeting for a student who really needed it, so that felt like good, meaningful work, unlike a lot of the PLs that we have to sit through, to be honest. But I didn't get any of my actual planning done, which meant I had to work over the weekend. So that part wasn't great because, the morning faculty meeting, lunch, and then the afternoon IEP. But here's the thing that made the difference. I got to go to lunch with some colleagues, an actual lunch, a full hour. We got to sit down. We got to eat. We got to talk to other adults about whatever we wanted. Not about school, not about work, which is school for us, just being people together. And what was really nice, it made me feel connected to them. It made me feel less alone. And I think that's why I felt a little bit better about the semester starting. Not because I got work done. I didn't. but because I got that 1 hour of adult connection. That was 1 hour of being off, of not performing. Because here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize this about teachers, but most of us, we get about 20 minutes for lunch during our workday. That's it. That's our one break in an 8-hour day, 20 minutes. And we don't get free periods during the day, contrary to popular belief. We have planning periods. We're in our rooms, we're calling parents, we're grading papers, we're planning lessons. We are working. We're doing things that people with office jobs do all day. We're trying to get caught up. So getting that hour on Friday, that was incredibly rare. And it reminded me of what we're missing in the daily grind as teachers. And I want to be really clear here. I know everyone has demanding jobs. There is something difficult about every job that's out there. And I know everyone deals with personal life overlapping with work stress. That is universal. That is not unique to me. I'm not special. Teachers are not special in that way. I 1000% know that. But I do think there's something a little different about teaching. And I want to name it because I think sometimes we don't give ourselves permission to acknowledge how hard this part of teaching actually is. Here's what's different. It's the performative nature of the job combined with zero flexibility. In a lot of jobs, office jobs, for example, you can close your office door for 10 minutes if you need to collect yourself. You can step out to make a phone call. You can take an actual lunch break. You have some flexibility to tend to your life when something comes up. We don't have that. We are legally required to supervise students. We literally cannot leave them unattended. From the moment students walk in until they leave, we are on, fully present, fully engaged, managing 150 or so personalities and needs. There's not a buffer. There's no decompression time. There's no space to tend to our own lives. And can we talk about the planning period thing for a second? I know I've talked about this on the podcast before, but it drives me absolutely 100,000% crazy. People in our buildings, even people who work in education, especially people who work in the office, call it a free period. Can you cover this class on your free period? Can you do this on your free period? And every single time I want to scream, it's not a free period. The planning period, that's when we do the work that people in office jobs do all day at their desks. We're grading essays, we're planning lessons, which, contrary to popular belief, do not plan themselves. We're calling parents, we're doing paperwork, we're doing clerical work. We have many jobs all in one, and that planning period is when we do our office work, our instructional design work, all of that. It's not free. We are working. And again, I hate to be redundant. I know I've said that before, but that's my biggest pet peeve. So when you combine that with only 20 minutes for lunch, there's no time in our day to step away and be human, to take a breath, to make a phone call when you need to tend to something that's weighing on your mind, to go to the bathroom. We're go, go, go from the moment we arrive until the moment we leave. And that's just the structure of the job. It's part of it. So back to that moment this morning, standing at my door, something heavy on my mind from the weekend, feeling tired, feeling defeated, and then the switch flips. After 25 years of teaching, you see, I've gotten really good at compartmentalizing. It's just part of the job. The switch happens automatically now. I'm genuine with my students. I'm real with them. I'm fully present. And I want to be. I do love my students. But there's still a performance aspect to it, right? I mean, you have to be on. I'm not going to stand up in front of my students and say, oh my gosh, guys, I had the worst weekend. Here's what happened. Let's hold hands and sing Kumbaya instead of doing our lesson. That's just not an option. And when life gets hard outside of school, when something's taking up mental space, you're still expected to flip that switch and be fully present for everyone else. There's no room for your own stuff. no space for it. You push it aside and you do your job. And here's what I've noticed. I can do that all day with my students. But with adults, I tend to be shorter, less patient, more irritable. And at the end of the day, I'm exhausted, more tired than usual. So, is compartmentalizing a survival skill? Yes. Is it necessary? I really think it is for teaching. But what does it cost? What happens when we spend 8 hours a day, every single day, pushing aside our humanity so we can be fully present for everyone else's? I don't have an answer to that. I just think we need to acknowledge that it does cost something and that it's a reality for teachers. So this is where I would love to give you some brilliant solution or some perfect strategy for managing all of this, but I just don't have one. I'm not going to tell you to take your lunch when you only get 20 minutes and that's barely enough time to eat. I'm not going to tell you to set boundaries, even though, yeah, we need to, but the structure of our job doesn't actually allow for much flexibility. I can't tell you to take leave when most situations, like what I'm dealing with, do not warrant that. The system is what it is. But here's what I can say. If you're exhausted at the end of the day when life is also demanding outside of school, that's legitimate. You're not weak, you're not failing, you're human. Don't feel bad about yourself. That switch flip, it's real and it's necessary. And it's okay to acknowledge that it does cost us something. Adult connection matters. When you can get it, like that Friday lunch I had, protect it when you can. Even if it's just eating lunch with a colleague instead of grading at your desk for those 15 or 20 minutes you get. Even if it's just a 5-minute conversation in the hallway, it does matter. Sometimes managing just means making it through the day, and that's enough. You don't have to be a superhero. You don't have to have it all together. You don't have to pretend you're not a whole person with a whole life outside of school, because you are. And here's the thing I really want you to hear. This is different from a lot of other jobs. You're not making all of this up. The go, go, go with no breaks, the performative nature, the expectation to be fully present and emotionally available with zero buffer time, that's real. That's our job. And it's hard. And it's okay to be tired. So if you're out there right now feeling exhausted, even though we're just coming off of a break, feeling like there's no space in your day to be human, feeling like you're performing even when life gets hard, you're not alone. This job demands something different from us. And we can be really good at it, really committed to it, and still acknowledge that it's hard. The bell rang this morning. I pulled my shoulders back. I smiled. I was on all day. And now I'm tired. And that's okay. Thanks for listening, my friends, and I will talk to you next time. That's it for this week on If Teachers Ruled the World. Be sure to subscribe, share with a teacher friend, and join the conversation at leahcleary.com. Until next time, keep ruling your classroom and rewriting the rules.